Hello, my friends. It is your boy, Brother Chris, if you couldn't tell. But you could tell, because I know you're a big brain brainiac. What's up? We're going to be doing another video on roster XP video stuff. Basically, a lot of people have been asking me about roster experience again. I have made a video on this in the past, but hopefully I'll be able to provide maybe some new, not strategies, but new methods that I haven't mentioned before. I don't really know. I don't fully remember what I went over, but I do have numbers this time, and I know I didn't have numbers last time for roster experience and the experience values you get per individual activity, so you can see just how important each activity is to contributing towards your overall roster level. As you can see, I'm roster level 255 down there, right here, 255. I'm a little bit of a sweaty nerd, and that is because I'm trying to make this Lost Ark thing full-time content creation. So, down below, Discord link, and if you want to support, consider becoming a member, you know? Like, and of course, let's get on with the video. So, roster level. How did I get to roster level 255? The short and skinny of it, much like with a lot of things in this game, simply play the game a lot. What are some things you can do on every character that you should probably do if you want to push roster level? Obviously, you have the Tower, you have Shade Spire and Fate Spire. You want to do these on every single character you have. This is the T1 tower, this is the T2 tower, we're getting the T3 tower soon, TM. Whatever that may mean. I'll leave that up to your interpretation. You get quite a bit of experience for how easy and simple these are. If you overgear it, you can just kind of AFK pretty much your entire way through it. And you get a nice chunk of roster experience for the time invested. If you've already done that, and you're like, but I still want more roster experience. How do I get more roster experience? Well, my friend, that is what I have. Let me pull it up on the tab. Right over here, my friend. Here. We're on good old reddit.com, the one and only. This is a nice little post from NSBFear. I will be linking this Reddit post in the description. And shout out to this man for putting the information out there in an easy-to-digest way. Basically, he was just breaking down his own road to 250 roster. But the most important thing that I'm taking from this is the roster experience from activities. Because I can ballpark these, but I don't remember exactly, and I didn't think to track them earlier today, and I've already done everything. So, you can see here what I mean by playing a lot. Una's Tasks, Chaos Dungeons, Guardian Raids, Abyss Dungeons, Weekly Una's, Chaos Gates. All of these activities that you do daily/weekly give roster experience. And it doesn't give a lot, but it adds up over the days, months, over each character you do them on. Una's Tasks are 240 each. You do 3 of those per character per day. You can see where that can start to add up. Chaos Dungeons, 300 per clear. Again, twice a day per character. That starts to add up. Same with Guardian Raids, 200 a day, twice a day, per character. You kind of get the idea. Abyss Dungeons, you get almost 3k for a clear. Weekly Una's Tasks, each one is 1340 roster experience. You get 3 of those a week per character. Every Chaos Gate you clear is 1400. What do all of these have in common? You can only do them a finite amount of times each day. You can see here, the thing that you can farm, Tower, right here. That's how much total roster experience you get per tower run. I'm not sure if this is both towers together, or just Tower 1 or Tower 2. Let's take a look. Let's read here. Report Tower, Q, Boss Rush, Towers, at least 150k per character. So I would assume it's both towers combined. And then he edited it to be about 200k. So yeah, you're looking at about 200k for both towers. That would make about perfect sense. Boss Rush, if you do all 15 waves, it's 3.9k. Something to note with Boss Rush. I don't know if this works or not, but legend has it if you force DC yourself at the end of Boss Rush, you'll be refunded your ticket, and you'll get to keep the roster experience you gained up to that point. So, I mean, I don't know if this works. I do know you get refunded if you DC, and I do know you'll probably keep the roster experience. So if you're really desperate for roster experience, I guess you could try that. I personally have never done any of those exploity things, mostly because I don't care. I'd rather just play the game. But there's an alternative option there if you really want to. And running the cube, if you clear a cube, you get 1920 roster experience per clear. I wouldn't recommend it, but you're free to do it if you so desire. Now, the main way that I always tell people to farm roster experience, despite it being quite boring, is main story quests. Main story quests are such a massive amount of your roster experience that you gain, aside from the stuff that you do by just playing the game for a very long time, such as Una's Guardian raids, etc. For Roandol, you get just under 90k roster experience. If you do the Yorn questline, you get about 125k. Phaeton's about 130k. Punica, almost 150k. South Vern, you get a smidge over 210,000. If you do all those main story quests per character, not factoring in doing the 1 to 50 quest line, you're getting about 700k roster experience doing Roandol up to South Vern. Times that by however many characters you have, you can start to see where the roster experience adds up. And now with Rowan out, there's another continent to add to the collection of these. I'm not entirely sure how much roster experience you get, but I can assume it would be a bit more than South Vern, just keeping in with trends. Why is this important? It's not really that important, it's just something to keep in mind, especially if you're looking at roster level. And then you can see up here the total experience from collectibles. Collectibles aren't really that big of a portion of your total roster experience. Like, yeah, it's certainly a decent amount, but it's not like if you don't have all the Makoko seeds, you're not going to be able to ever get high roster level. That's just not how it works. The majority of your roster experience will come from doing main story quests, and then the other majority of it will come from things like playing the game, like Abyss Raids, Chaos Dungeons, Unatasks, etc. Stuff that is small in number, but stacks up significantly because you do it so much. Anyways, hopefully this helps you guys out in trying to boost up your roster a little bit. Basically, there's no secret, except for the boss rush exploity thing that I'm not 100% sure works. I just figured I'd throw that out there just in case. I wouldn't recommend doing it just because it would take forever for like no experience at all. But again, you do you. I have no vested interest in how you farm your roster experience. What I do know is that is the end of the video, so thank you for joining me here, and hopefully you got at least a little useful information out of the video. If you did like it, make sure to leave a like, and of course, dislike it if you did dislike it. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or just want to say how beautiful I'm looking today. And of course, subscribe if you made it this far and you haven't already and you're interested in daily Lost Ark content. Thank you, friends. Brother Chris out. Bye.